Hello friends, this is Durga again from ITversity. As part of Oracle Cloud, I will show you a little bit more details about how the databases on Oracle Cloud works. So let me log into Oracle Cloud first and click on sign in. You can click on the My Services directly. And here you have to give the identity domain. It's US. USA soft. Click on go. Okay, so we have one database service that is running at this time, which is called as ITversity in. So what happens when we actually create the database cloud service? What happens? So if you click on this icon, there are different types of services. One is database cloud service, which we have used to create our Oracle 12c database. On top of that, there is a Java cloud service, compute cloud service, etc. So any service, when you actually provision, if it requires a particular server, that server will be created as compute cloud service, and then this database will be installed on top of that. So if you look at this, typically Oracle database will be running on its own server. Applying the same thing, this ITversity in database is actually running on this server. So if you click on compute cloud service on the dashboard, you will see this server with this public IP running there. So this is the Oracle compute cloud service associated with this ITversity in database. So you can click on this and you can get more details about our compute cloud service, which is supporting our database cloud service. Okay, and you can see the storage volumes attached to it. You can see the security list and many other details. So now if you recollect, the way you can connect to the database is that you have to tunnel it first. Tunnel it like this by using SSH-i, by passing the our private key of SSH, and then -l, and then the local port, which will be running when we actually do the tunneling on our local PC, and then remote IP address, which is the Oracle Compute Cloud Service, which we see here supporting the Oracle Database Cloud Service, and then remote port, which is 1521, which is database listener port, and then you have to give the username and password. Only when you actually do this, you will be able to connect to the database through SQL developer. And also when you do this, if you look at the properties, we are using localhost and 1521 as the port number. So this is okay to connect in the beginning, but if you want to develop a Java based application to connect to the database for development testing in production, probably you might use the compute cloud service on Oracle Cloud itself. So there will be connectivity between the application server on which the code will be deployed and the database server. But for development and other environments, you might not have the server on the Oracle Cloud. You might have on your data center or even on your PC. And in that scenarios, if you have to do this tunneling every time, it can be counterproductive. So what we can do is we can go to our compute cloud service, and you can click on network, and in this network you can open up the ports you want. Um, you can facilitate additional ports also, so that you can actually uh, connect to any of the compute cloud services you have provisioned, whether it is related to database or non-database as well. But for database, when you use Oracle database cloud service and when you provision the database, the underlying compute cloud service already have the rules defined, which are required typically to connect to the database. So for example, if you for listener, which is 1521 in our case for our database, this is the rule. And if you want to create additional security rules, you can click on this and you can start creating additional security rules also. But when it comes to database services provisioned on the Oracle Cloud, if you have to open up the port, you can just identify the relevant port number. In this case, relevant name. In this case, P2DB listener is for 1521, and you can actually enable it, and you can directly connect to the database without doing the tunneling. For example, now I can click on this, click on update, say enable, click on update, okay, and go to our ITversity in and blah 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 connection name, which is connecting through localhost using tunneling. Now we have to give the IP address itself. The IP address is, to get the IP address, you can click on overview, click on ITversity in DB1, so you can choose the public IP address, copy, and then go to here, paste in the host name, port number is 1521, ORCL is the seed, and password is and then you can click on save password, test. It says success, and click on connect. So now we were in the database ITversity in Oracle Cloud. So this is the tab. Yeah, this is the tab. Let me close this one. So now you can actually do alter session, set container equal to pdb1, run this query, and then select count of 1 from hr.employees and run this query. You can see the number of records 107. Now, so that's how you can actually avoid tunneling to connect to the database using SQL Server. You just have to go to the underlying compute cloud service, go to the network, and enable the port for DB listener, or enable the rule for DB listener, which uses 1521 port under the covers. Which is this one. Okay, so now let's go back to the database cloud service. I would like to show few more things, and there are few more important ports which needs to be enabled to leverage our instance on Oracle Cloud up to the maximum extent. If you go to the database cloud service, and if you click on this, it will show you several other options. So one is the Application Express console, one is EM console, and the other one is PDB provisioning console. EM console is for the enterprise manager in 12c. In this case, it's 12c database, so it will have the uh, Express Enterprise Manager 12c configured on this database, and also you can go to Application Express console also and PDB provisioning console also. Each one of these services will be running on a different port number, which uses which will have, so the underlying compute cloud service will have services defined, rules defined for all these services like Application Express, EM console, and PDB provisioning console, and you have to enable those rules so that you don't need to do the tunneling. If you do not enable those rules, then you have to use the tunneling for each and every port so that you can actually connect to the to those services. For example, in this case, if you click on Open EM console, it will not work. It will just hang for some time and it will fail. Okay, if it has to work, either you have to do the SSH tunneling, and Oracle EM console will be running on port number 5500. So you have to do the tunneling for 5500 port, and hit enter. Okay, now if you click on this one, and if you click on Oracle EM console, you will get into the Oracle Enterprise Manager console. So for some reason tunneling is not working. It timed out after a while. So let me close this. But the more cleaner way is again to go to the compute cloud service and enable those rules so that we can actually connect to EM console and PDB console as well as Application Express console to leverage those services to use this database more effectively for application development and other things for our companies. So click on network. We have already enabled Listener, and we have tested that SQL Developer is connecting to the database directly without doing the tunneling. And now we for DB Express, so for OEM, this is the rule which needs to be enabled. So click on this one, click on update and change it to enabled, and click on update. So now you will be able to connect to the Oracle Enterprise Manager console also. And then the other two which are important is the PDB console and the Application Express console. So let's go through the documentation and see what are the service rules that needs to be enabled for PDB console and Application Express console for 12c. For that, go to cloud.oracle.com, go to products and services, click on database. You can click on learn more here, and you can click on the documentation. In the documentation, we are using database as a service, so click on this one. And in this case, we want to manage our service instances by enabling those network rules. So click on this one, and then you can click on enable network access to an instance. Here you can see managing network access to a database as a service. So click on that main URL, and here you can see creating an SSH tunnel to a compute node port, which will explain how we can actually connect using tunneling to whatever service we want. We have already tested as part of the previous videos, and also in this video we tested how to enable access to a compute node port. For the listener, we will now see the consoles for the database control, which is DB console in this case. For enterprise manager, this is the rule DB Express, and let us see if there is anything for application express. So this HTTP SSL is the one for application express. So we have to enable DB Express, DB console, and then HTTP SSL. So click on this one, click on update. Click on enabled, click on update, and also click on this one, click on update. Choose enabled, click on update, and now go to the database cloud service, and now expand this one. Now you can validate Oracle EM console first. Now you can see that you are logging into Oracle Enterprise Manager console. When you log in for the first time, it will show the screen like this, and you have to use system as the user for the first time, unless you create other users with proper privileges. And you have to use the system user, and the password is the one which you will be giving, which you have given at the time of creating the database using database as service. So when you try to create the database for the first time, by clicking on create service and choosing Oracle Database Cloud Service either hourly or monthly, and click on next, and after choosing 12c1, when you click on next, and when you choose enterprise edition and click on next, here it have asked you for the administration password, and that password is the one which you need to give to log in by default. And click on login. Now you are inside the Oracle Enterprise Manager console, and then we will check the others also. So we already checked listener service, we checked the Enterprise Manager console. Now we will check PDB provisioning console. I think the port number is different one. Let's see here. Okay, for PDB, I think we need to open up new. Yeah, for PDB, I think we need to open up new. We have to create new rule, probably. Anyway, so I will check that later. And you can test Application Express also. This one I have opened the port, but it's not working. It seems there is an issue on the server itself. I will check later, but for now we have tested Oracle Enterprise Console as well as the listener by connecting to the database. So I could not get the solution for Application Express console, and DB console is not working because it has the 12c database, so that rule is not relevant here. But we have tested the other two, which is Application Express, Enterprise Manager console, and also the DB listener by connecting through SQL Developer. That being said, I hope you are enjoying the content so far on my channel. In this video, we have covered how we can actually connect to the database without using the tunneling on Oracle Cloud. That being said, I hope you are enjoying the content on the channel. If you like this video, please click on the like button. If you have any feedback or want to ask any technical questions, please use the comments section of the video. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. You will get to see a lot more content like this. Thank you. Bye.